Welcome back. All right. So today I think we're gonna, let's see, 188. We're gonna import some pipe because we need lots of pipe. And we have the new drone situation set up. And we might expand our wire production a little bit. And then we'll see if we can connect the two. Probably do the stator blueprint in the next episode. But this way we'll at least get the basics together. And then we found out this ginormous building doesn't have anywhere near enough coal. Or, sorry, iron ore. It needs a ton of iron ore. But that's obviously a problem we need to deal with later. Speaking of coal, so many presents. This whole thing is running. And it's giving me the, we don't have enough. One summer sloop and I could really change the speed of that. I know I don't have any in my inventory, but I figured I'd check. So right now, this whole thing is focused on quartz crystal only. Alright. At least we're on a power surplus. Got that going for us. The desert actually has a lot of iron, and we do have the alt recipe for iron. But I want to use the iron that we already have in our starter factory. We're missing copper sheets. I guess I'll drag some sheets down. And while those re-upload, we will import pipe and or build out some connections. It looks like I'm trying not to cover up any nodes. That's the real problem. Okay, let's see. If I stored a little bit of... Well, I don't know if I can make a reasonable angle over there. Maybe if I go for a... Well, see, that's the thing, is I would typically go for a full 4-meter situation. I was thinking about trying to use some of this space. But I think I'll just go out this way. You know, I deleted that so I could put in a 4-hole wall connection. And then I remembered such a thing doesn't exist. Let's put together a nice little... We're going to put together a little space bridge. And what we're going to do... I gotta think about it for a second because I'm kind of riffing here. If we put lights going down, then that's going to be a problem. So we'll just go up to, let's say 3. And we'll, nope, let's say 4. Then we'll do an inverted ramp. Nope. Well, I could do that. It just means this is actually going to be up here. And then with that, we'll put in some organizational lights. Gotta have it set to monochrome or background none. High, and then blank out the text. The building of this sky bridge will result in a little bevel between each build, but it's okay. But we don't need to add additional bevels in the middle. How do I want to set these up? 4 across? 4 stacked up? Even 2 by side by side are a problem. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's not put this. It's like not in a real spot. It's just kind of in the middle. We'll put it right in the middle. I don't know where the letter K is all of a sudden. There we go. Actually, that's not 1 by 1. That's 2 by 1. Two wide, 1 tall. This is actually 2 by 2. We need a snap point here. The angle on that isn't great. If I work the angle sooner, I think it looks better. Yeah, the fact that it actually let me connect this is surprising. We might have the sheets necessary. I'd like to think that we have the sheets necessary. We'll expand our copper wire production. Uh-oh. I put that in the wrong direction. Hold, please. So we're gonna have to do a little deletion. I guess while we're here, let's also get this present out of the way. There we go. We just doubled our wire capacity. I think putting this kind of right here and then maybe turning this into a little storage area where we can redirect this stuff. Like we can make stators over here, and if push comes to shove, we can make cable over here. That could work. This is floating. So here we'll just build a little kind of a storage depot transfer station. You know, I probably could put some power on this. I'm pretty sure I can't just hit 2. Yeah, I've got to find the power outlet. Then I can hit 2. Now that one has power on it, I should delete this other one. So what I want to do is consolidate these down. What I'd really like is for all of these to use all of those. That's my real goal. Now, whether or not we can do that, we're going to have to figure it out. Now, what is the recipe for stators? Is it like one belt of one and two belts of another? Or is it relatively balanced? I have lost control of my mouse. Where is it? There it is. Stators. One belt of steel pipe for effectively 3 belts of wire. Little less than 3 belts of wire. And that's running so well because it's basically just dumping its backlog. Hello? Uh-oh, I didn't connect that. Oh, God. All right, let's figure this out. Comes up, goes in, up and around, goes out. So that one's connected. This one is not connected. Goes up, over, in. So this needs to connect back to here. I should probably adjust this blueprint to include just these half walls. It's easier all around. Well, I'm glad I checked on that. We're going to have to double check on that blueprint. This storage depot might have to be multi-level. But for right now, I just want to try to get these skybridge connected. Uh-oh, might be too tall. How close are we? Such a small differential. I guess I'll just connect it at a higher level. I don't want to get too high because pretty soon it's going to be ridiculous to try to reconnect things. Everything looks perfectly, fully connected to the ground. Nothing's floating. Everything's beautiful. Except for that one part that is floating. Now we just need room for this drone platform so we can add in stuff, which right now stuff just means steel pipes. Do I have to go back 3? Let me figure out that part in a second. So this one is the motor, drone, fuel, import. Obviously, this one needs to be red. And then it's going to connect to the... Definitely an export. Turbo power fuel export alpha. Do I have a beta? I don't think I do. Turbo fuel export alpha. And yeah, see, all of our copper wire has been transferred over, so now it's running a lot lighter. This one, we'll put in a chunk of fuel. Okay, so now he's going to start importing turbo fuel so the rest of these guys can fly on turbo fuel. Oh, we're short on modular frames, wire, heavy modular. We're short on everything. I didn't leave myself much room to work here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we could squeeze one more in. It almost looks like I did that on purpose. Let me go fix that. We gotta fix this, 5x5 copper wire blueprint. And then we'll also grab what it takes to make 2 more drone ports so we can import. We're totally 0 on heavy modulars. That seems unlikely. I gave my turbo fuel to the drones. Frames are easy to fix. So is concrete. Though, wait, no, we've got concrete on site. The only thing I'm worried about is heavy frames. little mid-trip boost is where it's at. Oh boy. Oh, short on two things. Frames and pipes. Well, that's a little inconvenient. Luckily, I know a place where I can get both of those things. Oh, but I don't need a full boost to get there. Nice partial boost. This will get me more than enough heavy modular frames to finish today's video, at least. We've got 2 belts of pipe to import. And then we've got wire on site, so that's enough to make stators. Per minute, assuming this one is set up the same way. Okay, I'll let it go. We've got cable on site. I should stop over here and grab a few more frames. Apparently, I set myself up to export these frames, but... well, I gave myself a nice buffer, actually. when I'm ready to get around to exporting them, I'll have a nice buffer. 10,000 frames or so. Maybe a few more than that. You know what? While I'm in the air here, I think I'm gonna go for some aluminum sheets. One, that'll give us a little bit more time to make our heavy modular frames. And two, just we have enough to make sure we can build the belts that we need. I know we needed a few copper sheets for another build. Massive sneeze there, sorry about that. So we'll just grab a couple copper sheets while we're here. That was improper use of the hyper cannon. I didn't have my jetpack on, and I didn't have it full of fuel. Double violation. We're missing a couple bounds of wire. That little bit of signage is actually pretty cool. Now, we'll just drop in a couple of drones, which are on transport. Set this to, what do we call this one? Motor Factory. And we'll name this one Beta. Starter pipe export beta. And then we'll connect this one to starter pipe export alpha. We'll get enough fuel to start these two immediately. I mean, I guess technically this guy is bringing in turbo fuel. Uh-oh. We're starting to use our power supplies. That's the thing, is you get used to not using all of your power, and then you try to make an advancement, and then you end up using more power because you've unlocked a bunch of base factory stuff. And suddenly you're using more power than you were before. Though it looks like this one's more about our geothermals are oscillating. I just want to get this fuel connected to here. Get a nice... Are you not finding any fuel? Uh-oh, that's not good news. 64 fuel, that's all you had? course, this guy's going to take it all. I feel obligated to check to see what's going on with our fuel tower. 64 fuel is not... Those aren't good numbers. Those aren't even rookie numbers. Those are just terrible. If we're really having severe power issues, then our power grid's in danger. We expanded wire, even if it was only by doubling it. And we imported the pipe. So we got the two primary things we wanted to get done. First thing I want to check is see how our turbo fuel generator is doing over here. Well, all smokestacks are running. There's a good amount of buffer as well. It's at least 20,000 packed turbo fuel in here. And each one of these is full with 400 cubic milliliters, so we're not in danger of losing this huge chunk of power. So that's good. There's a lot of purple power slugs around here. I should probably use some of those. If you don't have full health, you should take an in-flight meal. Given my height, I think I can make it. This is the generator only export and it's struggling. My guess is that I've got a uploader with a massive buffer and everything else is having a hard time. Ooh. So much for the massive buffer theory. Looks like insufficient fuel is making it here now. I find that extremely difficult to believe. But it does appear to be the problem. If the top ones on this list don't have access to fuel, then nobody does. TFT fuel import. Turbo fuel tower. It's only importing 19. Okay. Now we gotta go to the refinery and see what's up. Luckily, we've got a ton of batteries. So we've got time to fix this. But it's always something other than you think it is. It's possible we just need to connect more oil. Ooh, short on canisters. Okay. I guess I destroyed too many canisters. What an interesting thing to be short on. Empty canisters. You know, I'm just gonna boost this. It's such a tall building. I'm gonna boost this. With some plastic, and then I think I'm gonna call it. To really fix this, though, I think we need more oil. We're definitely using the fuel, but we haven't fully utilized the resin production. Is my belief that I'll have plenty of plastic in here to grab. Look at that. And if I were really into it, I would manually provide $360 per minute. $360 per minute. We're destroying a halfway decent amount of plastic or canisters. So it doesn't, that kind of surprises me still. Am I saying canisters? They're really containers, right? No, they're canisters. But I think that looks like it's flowing a lot better now. There was a time where I had so many canisters and so much surplus plastic that I didn't even worry about it. Yeah, this is set to overflow, so we overflow a few. We'll manually produce resin. So everybody has at least one full cycle. This poor little factory is probably never going to get a break. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not exactly enough, but it's enough for now. It's funny that we're not making enough turbo fuel because we're not making enough empty canisters. It's the downside of not using the blender recipe. Okay. I think we're set. There's actually 2 drones making this extremely short trip. So the fact that that one only had 500 in it is fine. Because the previous one dropped off a bigger chunk. I think we're good. One of those things that you're glad you caught before it got much, much worse. I wonder, how's this oil doing? It's definitely dropping. My guess is that most of these aren't running because they don't have enough oil. Oh, they're not running because it... Oh, man, we're going to have to run the numbers on this polymer resin. I thought I'd have too much resin. So I set it up where it would automatically store resin and then it would automatically throw it away. But apparently, that machine stopped because it has too much fuel. The fuel's not getting out. Maybe I need more access to the lower levels. But I already have 2. And these pipes aren't full. Liquids. Oh, I see. Uh-huh. I get it now. We're not using enough rubber and plastic to demand the fuel necessary. We need to make use of rubber and plastic in future parts of the factory in order to consume it fast enough to then allow for the production of resin. If I want to get to the turbo motor, so I've got radio control and I've got, well, I will have motors. We have rubber. The thing we need to make are these cooling systems. The cooling systems themselves, nitrogen, water, that's fine, that's fine. It's the heat sink that's the issue. So we can make the heat sinks to loosen up. Actually, I should make a factory right there by my aluminum. We should make a factory right by the aluminum that makes the heat sink. Unfortunately, I put all that stuff on a high export threshold. Where the heck is the... Oh, it's over there. Like, since this place already has the aluminum, and technically we're also making copper sheets on site. We're not using enough silica. Oh no. Here's what's going to happen. At some point, I'm going to unlock all this and our power is going to go through the floor. We're not making solution because we've got too much silica. We're bringing in too much silica now, where the actual machines can't unload their silica. Oh man, okay. We're gonna make heat sinks out here. Do we have any more copper? That's not too bad. We could probably belt in some copper. Or make the copper sheets there and then belt in the sheets. Either way. I mean, these guys are running full speed, so they can't do anymore. And I don't necessarily want to take more copper ingots off of this, because then when this opens up, they're gonna need copper ingots. What is the heat sink recipe look like? 22 per minute. That's a lot. If I put in like 10 machines making heat sinks, that's 220. I'd probably like put 20 machines in. That would be almost 700 sheets per minute. That would be a double use of copper, because copper ingots go into aluminum sheets and copper ingots go into copper sheets to make the heat sink. And then I would ship the heat sink off. I can also worry about it later. I think that's what I'm going to do. I might have to build heat sinks because this is getting locked up pretty bad. And until these guys can get their silica out, we're not going to make anything else. Luckily, we've had a huge amount of aluminum products. This side is working. Oh, right, because we do have a little bit of an overflow protection happening. But apparently it's not happening for this side. Alright, well, we'll just overwhelm it. We'll just make a full belt worth of heat sinks. And that'll take care of it. And then I'll ship a line of sheets from up here straight back down. There's only one line of sheets available currently. Probably not truly only one line available. But looking at the amount that we've got in storage, 160,000 sheets in storage, we could probably start with that. All right. A little bit of extended planning session. Apologize for that, but I wanted to sort of think through all the various issues that we had going on. And there are some issues going on. Well, if I upload this guy, it might actually get out of the way. There we go. So let's do that. We'll take care of that in the next episode. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.